So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix. Now here's something we haven't said for a little while. Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years' absence from the calendar, it is great to be back here. But just who is going to put their car on pole? It's time again then for Formula One in Shanghai. Northwest of the thriving city of over 24 million people is a circuit that first featured in the championship calendar back in 2004. It played host to Formula One's 1000th Grand Prix back in 2019. Shanghai International Circuit, then, is a 16-corner high-speed thrill ride. The long and ever-tightening right-hander at turns 1 and 2 tests a driver's patience, and the flat, open to the elements location, test their skill in a crosswind. 2 DRS zones will assist passing, and they're available into turn 1 and down the kilometre-long back straight into turn 14. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And Lando Norris lines up alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Oscar Piastri, Leclerc, Russell, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Sainz, Tsunoda, Perez, Ricciardo, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Gasly, Magnussen, Ocon, Bottas, Joe, Sargent, and Alex Albon picks up the last spot on the grid. It's almost time for those 5 red lights to go out then. Let's see who can prevail today. And alongside me, a man, well, what more can I say? But he's a legend. Anthony Davidson. As we all know, every single driver wants to know what's required of them. And in the case of this driver, I think things are pretty stable at the moment. That they're doing what the team require.
Well, that's the thing, as a driver, it's easy to feel like you're the individual. It's all about you. And, you want to further your career the best you can. But you have to have the team hat on as well. And play the team game, work with your teammate as best you can. It's not an easy balance to figure out.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay Max, we've got some clear track around us now, so let's use it and make this next lap a quick one. Let's go. Nice work, you smashed it. Really good job on hitting that target, mate. Okay, mate, this is the final lap of the race. Final lap.
That was not easy.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
A great display of dominance today, Crofty, by this driver. They led from lights out to the flag at the end, led every lap of the race. Brilliant stuff by them, and excited to see what more they can do in future races.
Here come today's winners. The team at Red Bull have done a phenomenal job recently, and it's clear to see that they've put in the work, and they should be so proud of the victory they secured here. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action, and I can't wait to see what's next.
OK, all the new parts have been fabricated and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
Welcome back to Miami and welcome to qualifying. Only raw speed will separate these drivers today, but the question is, who's got what it takes to get pole? Welcome to the Magic City. We're here at the Miami International Autodrome, the home of the Hard Rock Stadium, a multi-purpose sports and entertainment hub which has hosted Super Bowls, Baseball World Series, numerous rock concerts, and of course, as of 2022, Formula One. Well, it's certainly not sunny here in the Sunshine State. A lap of the Miami Grand Prix features 19 corners and 3.36 miles of track around the Hard Rock Stadium. But these conditions should prove especially difficult for all of our drivers today. It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position, just ahead of George Russell, who starts this event from P2. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Perez, Norris, Leclerc, Sainz, Ocon, Stroll, Albon, Gasly, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Ricciardo, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Magnussen, Zhou, and Logan Sargent. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And alongside me today, former Formula One driver and former world champion too. See, told you I'd give you a big intro. Anthony Davidson, hello. Look, we know it's not where you start, it's where you finish. But let's talk about the start now. What's there to help the drivers get away well?
Big pressure at the start of the race, Crofty, for all of them up and down the grid, no matter where you are. But the drivers these days, they practice, practice and practice. They have rigs with them at the circuit where they can sit down with the actual steering wheel from the real car, and they've got lights that they react to. The clutch paddle is tailored around the driver's hands, around their fingers, so they can have optimum position before they start. So there's so much thought and effort that goes into getting these cars off the line.
That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, Max. Right, we've got some clear track in front of us, so let's make best use of it and make the next lap a quick one. You got this. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. Okay, nice work. Really good job with that target, mate. Gap to your teammate behind, 22.4 seconds. Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
Yeah, tires were holding on really well. It was actually really enjoyable to drive.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again because it's victory for Max Verstappen. The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time out? Be sure to join us once again as we continue to bring you all the excitement of Formula One.
Okay, mate, I'm pleased to say that our new parts have come through without any issue, so they'll be on the car ready for the next race weekend.
Welcome along, everybody, to Imola, just down the road from Ferrari HQ, and they know a thing or two about pace, and pace today is king. It's qualifying day, and it's great to have you with us. Well, that wraps up qualifying, but don't worry, we'll be back tomorrow as we head into the Grand Prix. Well, today's venue has a full name that is perhaps lesser known than its informal one. So today we're at Imola, or to give it its official title, the Autodromo Internazionale Enzo e Dino Ferrari, named after their legacy. A beautiful tribute at a beautiful circuit. It's time, everyone, for the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track at Imola featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One tracks as it's taken anti-clockwise. Let's hope nobody forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight on the circuit and its only DRS zone. It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Norris, Russell, Hamilton, Perez, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Sainz, Stroll, Tsunoda, Albon, Ocon, Ricciardo, Magnussen, Hülkenberg, Bottas, Sargent, Joe, and Pierre Gasly picks up the final grid slot. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track. And alongside me today, a man small in stature but big on comment, Anthony Davidson. Hello. Now, we had great fun watching them win last time out. What a great victory it was. but can they carry that into today's race?
It's the important one, isn't it, Crofty? You've done it once, can you do it again? But, you know, if you start believing in yourself and the confidence starts to build, that inner confidence is what you need. And you can carry that through to future races, including this one, and you set that ball rolling. That's the critical thing that they're looking for here. And I believe if you've got that first race win or a win at any stage, it can start to roll with you in a good way.
Okay, here we go. I know what you can do. Don't let me down. Okay, DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Great work, that's a new fastest lap of the race. Okay Max, we've got some clear track in front of us and let's make the best of it, so please make this next one a very fast lap. No need to worry about the tyre condition for now, everything's looking good. Oh mate, you made that look easy. Nice work. That's why I love working with you. Smashed it. job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Final lap, final lap. Push, push.
Yes, guys. Unbelievable.
It's another victory and a champion's performance from Max Verstappen.
And that's 2 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. And it marks the fact that it's not a fluke. So, you know, their head's in the right space. What more can we see going forwards?
Red Bull put up an outstanding fight for the front position today, and it's great to see it paid off for them. They do so much for the sport that you can't help but be delighted by today's race win. Well, that was certainly an exciting weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for more exciting Formula One action very soon. With qualifying wrapped up now, we have our grid lineup for the big race tomorrow. Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race. Formula One returns to Monte Carlo once again today, home to the world-famous Monte Carlo Casino that first opened in 1863. And of course, a certain road race first held in 1929. There's no greater an occasion, no more valuable a win than the Monaco Grand Prix. The prestigious Circuit de Monaco, then, is not all that dissimilar today to the layout that made its debut almost a century ago. It's 2 miles and 19 corners through the streets of Monte Carlo. And although the average lap speed of around 93 miles per hour is the lowest of the season, the tiny margins for error make it the natural habitat of the safety car. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And starting next to them is George Russell. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Leclerc, Perez, Sainz, Oscar Piastri, Fernando Alonso, Albon, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Norris, Magnussen, Ricciardo, Gasly, Ocon, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Bottas, Joe, and Logan Sargent. Now it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Now, I'll be generous here. It's not that long ago that you were racing and entertaining us on a Sunday. But in the years since, the sport has changed quite a bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, it really has, Crofty. You know, the cars have got bigger, they're heavier, but critically, there's more downforce to play with as well now. There was around 4 tons of downforce on the car at 300 kilometres an hour when I drove. You're now looking more towards 5 tons of downforce. So there's a big difference in performance. But because of that, the car being heavier and bigger, you've got to drive in a smoother way. You've got to look after it a bit more. You've got to nurse it through the slow-speed corners more. They were much more nimble, agile machines when I drove in Formula 1 compared to now.
Right, this track needs a lot of downforce, so we won't have as much top speed. The good news, though, is that it's going to make our DRS even more effective than normal. Try to make the most of it in the race and quali if you can. DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone. Great work. That's a new fastest lap of the race. No tyre concerns at the moment, just focus on the driving. That was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Well done. Okay, final lap. Let's go. Final lap.
We did it. Great job, guys.
And in the end, there was no Verstappen. Max Verstappen, he takes victory.
And 3 wins in a row now, of course, Crofty. Thrown the gauntlet down. The drivers are out there now. They realise that they are the target. They're the ones to beat. They've got the energy, they've got the momentum on their side.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. And with that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.